we just say unions suck a fat dick? Like, I don't think that there's one current union right now that isn't overbloated, doesn't represent the will of their workers, and isn't just in it for themselves. I think chief probably among those is the teachers union. You can make a case for the police unions, but teachers unions probably have the most sway for and protect the least productive people I can think of. There's good cops out there, and the bad cops get a disproportionate amount of the headlines. And you get the absolute flip reverse of that for the teachers' unions. Okay? There are a portion of the entirety of them that are good, that actually want to help the children that they teach on a daily basis, that would love to get back to work, that would love to be back in a physical classroom, making a difference in the lives of these kids. And then you have the overwhelming majority. I know, I've been through the public school system, okay? And a relatively good, apparently, one. And there's literally probably a handful of teachers from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade that I can remember and actually made an effort and a lasting difference in my life. The rest of them were there to just punch a clock, do an easy 10 months, and try to fuck the second grade teacher. And this is just another one of those mask off moments. Follow the science. Documents suggest Biden let teachers union shape CDC school reopening policy. Yep, of course. Is anybody shocked by this? Like, it's just so fucking obvious. And the fact that it's in writing, I don't know, just kind of makes for easier presentation. We already knew this. Teachers unions are wholeheartedly corrupt. Newly released documents suggest that one of the country's most powerful teachers union shaped Biden's administration policies on the reopening of schools despite President Joe Biden's pledge to follow the science on pandemic policy. Oh, he did. It was probably just a lady named Jane Science, and she dictated what the fuck they were going to do. The documents obtained by the conservative group Americans for Public Trust through a Freedom of Information Act request were reported Saturday by the New York Post. They show that the American Freedom for Teachers, the AFT, lobbying for Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the shitty CDC, and succeeding in having some of their recommendations adopted. The teachers union had long opposed a rapid reopening of schools for reasons. Could you describe any of those? No, we're just lazy and we like to get our paychecks. And I can't teach. I'm on a beach in Mexico. Fuck off. Even when science said there was no significant risk. The Los Angeles Teachers Union, there it is, also claimed that the statewide school reopening plan would reinforce structural racism. Several other stupid claims along those lines have been made as well. The Post has reported the powerful teachers union full court press preceded the federal agency putting the brakes on a full reopening of in-person classrooms. Emails between top CDC, AFT, and White House officials show. The documents show a flurry of activity between CDC Director Walensky, her top advisors, and union officials, the Biden brass being looped into the White House in the days before the highly anticipated February 12th announcement of schools reopening guidelines, of course. Hence why every speech that at least I've heard about Biden, and I've unfortunately heard a disproportionate amount of them, he's always mentioning how great unions are. There's another reason, another tangible reason why. Biden campaigned against Donald Trump by claiming that he would follow the science on coronavirus pandemic, implying that Trump administration had not. Once again, another example of confession through projection. When he announced the administration's policy on school reopening on February 12th, Biden said he would follow the science, man, and claimed the CDC had provided the best available scientific evidence on how to reopen schools safely. Walensky also claimed that there had been no political interference. Fuck off, CDC. Clearly, that's not the case. They're just lying to you, okay? They're lying to you. They don't follow the science. They just follow whatever science they need in order to push whatever agenda they want to. They want control over you, and the CDC has had control over, if not America, the entire world at this point, because everybody's following the lead of the United States of America, like it or not. Where the CDC and the WHO go, that's where the world goes, okay? CDC and their influence and their research and their science greatly influences the policies and the direction of the WHO. I don't think I'm breaking any ground here. That's just the fucking way it is. So if you get powerful teachers unions who are always trying to fight in the best interest of Who exactly? The union's sake, actually. Then you know you're not going to be getting a decent proposal. You're just going to be getting a biased proposal. We got another little story on the back end of this, and because we were talking about California, we got to go just slightly up. We just got to go one state north of that, where you have just absolutely boneheaded, retarded strategy, and it's the case where you have one city running an entire state, okay? One terrible city making all the decisions, because that's where all the people are, right? That's why we need something I've been talking about for a very long time, statewide electoral college, because Oregon has mandatory mask rules forever and ever and ever. They are locked in perpetuity because science. As mask mandates end in most sane states, Oregon bucks trend with permanent rule. Now that lady right there with the mom jeans, normally that top would be worn by somebody who is in possession of actual tits and not whatever that preteen boy body that she has would rock that shirt. But hey, you need not fear embarrassment because you're going to be wearing your mask forever in Oregon. I'm sure that's what the rest of the very red state wants outside of Portland, outside of Salem. 2 cities running the entire state. What could possibly go wrong? As states around the country lift COVID-19 restrictions, Oregon is poised to go to the opposite direction, and many residents are fuming about it. They want, especially in Portland, mandatory masks because it makes it easier to smash things up, like we seen in the first video. A top health official is considering indefinitely expanding rules requiring masks and social distancing in all businesses in the state. Why? Follow the science, bigot. Wear the mask. The proposal would keep the rules in place until they are no longer necessary to address the effects of the pandemic in the workplace. Which pandemic? Don't know. How long are they going to be there? Forever. Michael Wood, administrator of the state's Department of Occupational Safety and Health, once again another government program to make sure that everything is running properly in accordance to what the big unions want, said the move is necessary to address a technicality and state law that requires a permanent rule to keep current restrictions from expiring. We are not out of the woods yet. When will we be? How will we know if we are? Keep it purposefully vague in order for them to exert their power for as long as they can. But the idea has prompted a flood of angry responses, thank God, with everyone from parents to teachers to business owners and employees crying government overreach. Why would you characterize it that way? Crying. That's almost like you're trying to other an entire group of people who are looking to places like Texas, Arkansas, Florida, who have lifted their mask mandates, several other states as well, Alabama, that Kate Ivey actually followed through on that. Props to her. Didn't renew it after everything was all said and done. Both of the Dakotas, North Dakota, South Dakota, Kristi Noem giving her a lot of shit lately, but that was one thing that she did great. The handling of this pandemic has been tremendous, and they haven't seen any negative effects from it. Imagine that. But nah, not in Oregon. Opponents also are upset. Government officials won't say how low Oregon's COVID-19 case numbers must go. Oh, don't worry, they'll have a sliding scale, just like here in Alberta, where, we'll go to stage 2 once we get to under 300 hospitalizations. Oh, okay, we're under 300 hospitalizations. Oh, no, we got to stay there. Oh, okay, we haven't really gone up that much. That's all right, we're just going to go ahead and lock down because hotspots have arose. Okay, why are you going on hotspots? Because 100,000 people per have a certain amount of cases. Okay, how many people are in hospital? Oh, we don't need to tell you that. How many people are dying? You don't need to know about that. Exactly. When will masks be unnecessary? What scientific studies do these mandates rely on, particularly now that the vaccine is days away from being available to everyone, said State Senator Kim Thatcher, a Republican from Kaiser, near the state's capital. Businesses have had to play mask cop for the better part of a year now. They deserve some certainty on when they will no longer be threatened with fines. Exactly. I feel bad for these businesses that are allowed to be open, but can only operate at a fucking nominal, arbitrary capacity, that have to enforce ridiculous mask mandates, especially at a restaurant. Those ones just don't make sense. Now you got to take it down in order to take a bite, and they have to put it back up in order to chew, which defeats the purpose of a mask because you're breaking the seal, and it's all fucking stupid. We can go in all day, but if I describe it in any more detail, I risk having my channel taken down. Remember, masks work at all times, and make sure that fuck off. Wood said she is reviewing all the feedback and to see if changes are needed before they make a final decision by May 4th when the current rules lapse. So just a couple of days, and I hope Oregon, it says a blue state, but a couple of blue cities make an entire blue state, I guess. Meanwhile, places that border them, like Montana, I'm pretty sure Idaho has fairly lax standards as well. They don't have their populations dropping dead, but hey, I just look at the numbers all day. I just take a look and would make a measured response and look at the numbers that actually matter, hospitalizations, deaths. I think that those are a little bit more important than the people who actually experience the sniffles. I'd be going on those numbers in order to make my decisions on what I would be making people do. And if I was in charge, I wouldn't be making people do anything. I would tell them to look after themselves, because it's not my job as a governor, as a senator, as a representative to be telling you how to live your life. Personally, I just think that that's the right thing to do. I think that people have the capacity to be looking after themselves and their family better than some asshole in a distant city would be able to tell you to live your life. But that's what happens in Oregon, and it sucks, because I've talked to a few people from Oregon, seem like great people. It looks like the rest of the state outside of Portland is a beautiful, beautiful forested area, and you hate to see it run over by the party of the science. Now it's the party of unions and corruption, but hey, all it takes for them to be authoritarians for a little bit too long, and if people are already starting to push back on just threatening to extend in perpetuity, like Virginia, these nonsensical mandates, people might be reaching their breaking point. And I hope that comes sooner rather than later. I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.